What's up everybody and welcome to IGL Coatings Australia. Today I have an absolute treat of a video to share with you, and that is my 1 year 25,000 kilometer review of my IGL Aegis underbody coating on the IGL LandCruiser 79 series. This video has been 1 year in the making, and during this time I have made sure to take every single opportunity that I can to go out and enjoy my 70 series LandCruiser, as every one of you should. I've driven this car through snow, mud, salt water, fresh water, sand, rocks, pretty much everything you can find in Australia. And today, with my good friend Lazar from Blast and Protect Co., we're going to give the underbody a quick clean, do an inspection, and see how it's held up for the 1 year that I've been abusing it. So all that's left to do now is grab yourself a nice cold drink, put your feet up, and enjoy the rest of this video and see just how well or how poorly this coating has held up against Australia's toughest conditions. Guys, I want to introduce you to Lazar from Blast and Protect Co. He actually works in quite an interesting place, and he's not a stranger to farm vehicles and tractors.
Yeah,
And
plenty of them around.
And Lazar has been using IGL Aegis pretty much since we launched it in Australia. So he's done quite a lot of different vehicles, especially Land Cruisers. And I guess we'll have a chat to Lazar and get his thoughts on how the car washed up, first of all.
That's it.
And how it looks, and then any issues that we need to address. Now it's been a year and a lot of abuse. Like all things, it kind of needs a bit of maintenance. So I'll hand over to Lazar and give us your thoughts.
Thank you, Eamon. Thanks for coming, and my pleasure to help you around, and we'll have a look at the LandCruiser.
Thank you.
So my thoughts on this: we washed the front half of this car, and it washed pretty easy. So what cars we do, like LandCruisers like this, will require a bit more attention and more product and more scrubbing and washing. On the front half, we just did a foam. We just spray foam it and we rinse it with hot water, which obviously helps when you do this kind of job.
Perfect. And I know that you have dry ice blasting as well in your business.
Yeah.
So a car that's normally a year old, does it normally need dry ice blasting, or what you've done with this one normally is okay?
Normally we'll do like a hot water pressure wash we'll do for this type of cars when they are, let's say, year or two old LandCruisers, if we're talking about LandCruisers. But obviously this one, where it went through to the mud, snow, and what not. All right, so it washed pretty easy.
So the coating is doing its job, making it easier to wash.
Doing a job. I must address some concerns about this coating. So as an applicator of the IGL Aegis, you have to take the time and apply. So the thing that we apply this coating for is for protection mainly.
Yes.
It's the look. It's on the second place for myself.
Yes.
So clients will see it nice and shiny, but that's not the main goal. The main goal is to protect the underbody and to protect it from rust and any problems in the future.
I have a few questions for you, because I know that you were feeling it and rubbing parts. What were you doing when you were kind of like...
Yeah, let's say if you feel it here, it's been, some places are missing product, so it's not applied as thick as my standards, let's say, and the standards of IGL, which we try to get to 100 microns. So to apply that, some of the places we can see they are nice and smooth, and which it's hold the shine still, it's still shiny. But some of the places where they are not applied enough, where there is not enough product, the coat is very dull, and it's like a sandpaper. It's not smooth.
Funny you picked up on that, because I didn't even tell Lazar before he told me this. This car was picked up and coated when we had a major stock outage.
Oh, I remember that.
So
yeah.
I know that it didn't have...
It was hard to get a kit of IGL Aegis at that time.
100%. Toscan from Lucid Detailing was kind enough to give me leftovers of the kit that he had. So I know for a fact that this car was not coated to the best it could be. And I was happy with that, because I wanted to see what happens if things are not done 100%. Everything works good when it works perfect.
Yeah.
But I wanted...
we tried different case scenarios. So this is another scenario that product, some places there is plenty of product. You can see the chassis rails on both sides, they are nice and shiny. But then we can see some of these marks and here, and that they are not as glossy as they should be after a year.
What about rust, Lazar? So we talked about it not being thick enough, and you actually checked with your paint thickness gauge to validate that we're nowhere near 100 microns thick.
Far from 100 microns.
But what about performance other than ease of washing? So what are like lifting, chipping, rust? What did you see?
Obviously on cars, when they come a 2-year-old LandCruiser that being a little bit of off-road and mud and stuff like that, will have a much more wear and tear on it. So we'll have to do some extra repairs before we put IGL Aegis. On this one particularly, there is no any rust like on the usual spots where all the LandCruisers rust, but obviously then we can see some rust where the coating didn't get to. So, and then we can see the difference from that to that side, that some of that parts are already rusting.
So the parts that have been coated are doing really well.
The parts that are coated doing really well.
Even though it's very thin.
Yes, that's it. So if applied properly, this will last even better, So it will be used.
I'm surprised. I'm genuinely surprised. Not that the coating was applied thin, because I know it was applied thin. That's all we had in Australia. But I'm actually surprised that it held up so well.
Yeah, I'm too, because obviously when a 1-2-year-old LandCruiser comes, all these bolts, small bits and pieces, they will chip and they will rust.
Yes.
But this one has no signs of any surface rust. Obviously there is some wear and tear and some stone chips, but this car doesn't sit in the shed. No. It's not a garage collectible car. It's his daily drive, and obviously he done 4 seasons in a month, so
100%.
sometimes holds up pretty well.
This car was purchased with the intention of testing this product, and I have to really go out and test it, right? So when it rains and it gets muddy, I get excited because I want to go to the Blue Mountains and get it dirty.
That's it.
100%. So Lazar, now that we've seen there is not much issues in terms of rust and peeling and chipping, we do need to address the fact that it's been applied too thin. So 2 things from you. First of all, what do we want? What would you do in this case? And the next thing is, what advice do you have for people who either want to DIY apply it, or applicators who do not have spray painting experience that want to offer this product? What advice do you have for them now that you've seen my car?
On this type of car, if it comes for inspection, I would suggest that we redo the car. So we'll do a full steam wash clean, and then we can address, because there is some paint places that they apply too thin and the coating start chipping. So we can send them those, just level them, and then we apply the coating. For all other guys out there, you want to do these coatings, try it yourself, or you offer it at your business. Just take your time, test on some other stuff before you paint chassis. And remember, the thing we apply these coatings are for protection. The look, it's always on the second thing for me. You might have few drips here and there, but people, they like to pay the money, so the car stays protected for years to come.
So put it on thick.
Put it on thick, put plenty. For cars of this size, LandCruisers 79 series and all other youths, you for sure you use one kit. It's a must to do a full car.
And this one, just so you know, for everybody, mine has had, I think, 1/3 of a kit. It wasn't even half.
Not enough. Not enough.
But that
when I started doing Aegis, it was like how much products I will need and stuff like that. Obviously tested on some of our cars, some of our farm machinery and stuff, and obviously you come to a conclusion that one kit should be enough. And if you spread it well and you focus on the areas that you need to protect. So
perfect.
Just lay it thick, make it shiny, yes, but make sure everything is protected. Make sure you get all the grooves and stuff, because that's where this LandCruiser rust, where you can't see.
You get a lot of rust for your money.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
That's for sure.
Last question, Lazar, before we wrap this up is, on my rear diff, and we haven't washed it because that's the part that we wanted to do a 50-50 and see how easy it is to wash. Obviously, I've dragged it through sand and mud.
Yeah.
That's now stripped all the paint and stripped all the coating. Assuming that we don't want to redo the whole LandCruiser and redo all the
Yeah.
Aegis coating, can we touch up specific spots?
Yes, we can. You get a problem like Ayman has on the diff and the rear suspension, where he went through sand, he went through mud and stuff, he chipped a bit of paint. We can address that problem, so we can send it back, prime it, paint it, and then we apply the edges on just
That area.
that area, of course.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, I guess for your customers, Lazar, because you have a lot of customers that you've done the coating for, how do you find that it's performed overall? Like, would you, if this was your car, would you be happy? Do you think your customers would be happy if their car washed up and looked like this after a year and a bit?
Definitely happy, because let's say my Hilux is out there, it's few-year-old and has no coatings on it, so I will do a video on it and show it soon, but it doesn't look as good as this. So this wash, paint is still here, and this car is getting used. So that's why they're made for, getting them used, but it's good to protect them.
If you have a LandCruiser 2024 model that's been through what this car has been through and that's never been coated, and you're in Sydney, get in touch with Blast and Protect Co, because we want to have a back-to-back comparison.
That's it. We want to see the difference of coated car after a year and uncoated car after a year or two difference. So if you have one of them, you want to get in touch, we might give you some discount, and then we might do your car next.
Perfect, done. Well, thanks everybody for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Lazar. He's a top guy. Make sure to follow his tractor channel.
Yeah, it's a vintage tractor and machinery.
That's
where
it.
we do some our collection tractors and all kind of machinery. Yeah.
Kind of expected, kind of not expected. I knew that my car only received a very light coating because that was the only product that was available for a few months. And I knew that I had some trips coming up that I didn't want my car to get rusty and have nothing on there to protect it. So from one end, I'm incredibly grateful and happy that I had some product on there. And even though it was much, much thinner than the specification required, it still did its job incredibly well. From another end, I don't know if I look forward to recoating the car or not. Maybe we'll go back to Lazar's shop and put a proper 100 micron thick layer on and do a comparison of IGL Aegis applied properly versus IGL Aegis applied too thin. Or maybe I might just even do half of the car and see if the other half, lasts and performs as long. Probably will end up doing the whole car, to be honest. I love my car too much to let it rust. But I hope this gives you confidence in this amazing product. Even at 20 microns thick instead of 100 microns thick in some areas, it performed superbly. There was no rust on the areas that were coated. The car washed up beautifully. There was minimal peeling and cracking and chipping. It's just a fantastic product, and I hope you will think the same once you have your car coated as well. If you have any questions about IGL Aegis, please feel free to email us at sales@iglcoatings.com.au or jump on our website and reach out. Otherwise, drop any comments you have on this YouTube video and I'll be more than happy to respond to them, or simply reach out to your certified applicator. For all of the people who want to DIY this product and also the certified applicators out there, I hope this video has highlighted to you the importance of making sure you reach that 100 microns thickness. Yes, the product will perform very well even if it's not coated at the required thickness, but having it at 100 microns ensures that the product performs as we describe it to perform. So for me, I'm probably going to go back and have the whole underbody redone. It's not going to be a huge process, to be honest with you. Look at how easily it cleaned up. We don't need to dry ice blast it and go through that process. But if your car is obviously much older, dirtier, or was never coated, you'll probably end up having to go down the path of dry ice blasting. And we do have a great group of dry ice blasters in Australia, including Lazar, that you can speak to. So thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe. It helps me a lot in motivating me to create content for you. Please follow the journey for this car. I do plan to do a lap of Australia as soon as business and family permits me to do so. And I would love to share the adventures with you. So thank you for watching. Lazar, I think this tractor has got more power than my LandCruiser.
I think so too, man.
And it's got a bigger turbo.
Yeah.
Let's see. How old is this one?
Probably the 1950s.
Shit. There you go. 1950 Saturn.